Hi, this is Adam with MovieGuy365, and I'd like to give you my thoughts and impressions and a review of Shane Black's The Predator. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, subscribe, bell notification, any help you can give me with the keeping the channel going. That would be awesome. Thank you. So yeah, I went to see Shane Black's The Predator this weekend. Now, little backstory, I'm a huge fan of the franchise. I love anything aliens, Predator, yes, even Alien versus Predator, which, yeah, let's say it. The first movie's terrible. But we might have a new champion with this new one, The Predator. Yeah, okay, so as big a fan as I am, I didn't go into this with high expectations. In fact, I went to this with the most level-headed expectations I could really manage for this movie. I'm a huge Shane Black fan. As a writer, his director efforts have been hit or miss, but movies like The Nice Guys, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, I really enjoy those ones. Iron Man 3, I felt, while it had his signature to it, the story just didn't do much for me, but you know, it's Iron Man 3, so of course I'm gonna actually own that damn thing. But anyway, so when I heard about The Predator, from what I was hearing at first, I was very encouraged by what I heard. The cast, I thought sounded great, but there was really no premise made available to the public as based on a story. And while that can have a magnificent outcome, it could also go completely the other way and bottom out. I really feel that The Predator, and from what I've heard afterwards, suffered from a huge third act collapse. Apparently there were massive reshoots, rewrites, such and such. Now here's what I will say. I will say the cast is great. Nobody, I felt, dragged the movie down. There wasn't any one annoying character to me, and it wasn't really the fault of anyone but I. And as much as I would love to blame studio interference in this, I think at the end of the day, Shane Black has to take responsibility for what this ended up being. Now, I'm not going to throw out a whole lot of spoilers, but I don't feel like there's anything that it's gonna change the world if I reveal it on the video. So I'll be cautious, but I still want to get my point across. So we have, essentially, this movie is a Predator movie without the Predator. Now that's going to sound very weird, and you're gonna scratch your head and wonder what I'm talking about. In the first three movies, and even to an extent, Alien versus Predator, both movies, you have your Predator come to Earth and do some hunting, okay? And they even make stupid jokes about this. And it's very timely jokes. You know, like, oh, well, we got to be correct about how we label something. You know, we have to change it. Really? You're doing this in the middle of a movie about a predator? But anyway, back to my point. You have the Predator coming to Earth and hunting something. That doesn't really happen here. In fact, up until the last 20 minutes of the movie, none of that happens. And yes, you have a Predator, and it's from what in which you see, he comes to Earth, and you know these government types capture him, and then you have the super Predator who's supposedly fighting this one. Yeah, that happens. That what you just saw in that trailer is the movie, and it isn't a great entry into the series. In fact, I just downright hated this movie. It's bad. There's unnecessary things. There's even a cringe-worthy scene with Olivia Munn where she has to get decontaminated while this predator is wrecking things. Why did that need to be in the movie? What purpose did it serve? And it's not a good film. It's not. And I understand the need for changing things up. I get that. Believe me, I do. If you think that, you know, you're going to turn the Predator into a huge blockbuster, you can't really change the formula too much and keep it an R rating and expect, oh, all of a sudden we're going to make it money, or we're going to make Deadpool money or Logan. You need to scale back the camp a bit. We want to see these predators hunting humans and how the humans adapt to this. When you don't have that for the entire movie, except for the last 20 minutes, and your main antagonist, believe it or not, is a government agency, that's no longer a Predator movie. It isn't. I'm sorry. You know, like I said, I would say the first 20 minutes, I was headed in a great direction. I enjoyed what I saw. But all of a sudden, you're having jumps of logic. You know, they bring in Olivia Munn once again, and she wasn't bad in this. I'm not gonna put any blame on her. I'm blaming the writing and the direction here. But when you bring in somebody who she's playing a scientist, and 20 minutes after such, she's all of a sudden proficient in firearms, like high-level firearms. Knows how to hold them, knows how to use them, like she's been using them all her life. That's a problem. Like, that's an issue that's not explained in the movie. There's no backstory to that. Like, oh, I grew up in the military, or I was a former soldier. No, they just picked her up. And once again, they don't really explain why they picked her up. They even address that a couple times. It's like, why are you here? Oh, I said something when I was 7 years old. And I'm like, what? Like, you know, there's a lot. Okay, you got to, in your plot, you've got to get from A to Z. Beginning, credits, end credits. A, Z. You can't go A to Z by skipping B through F. Oh, I'm going to land on G. Skipping a couple more letters to get to L. No, that's not how a narrative structure works. The character, and it's weird because the characters are so good. Like, you really enjoy, you know, everybody on screen. But when you're skipping, it's almost like you're in a rush and you're skipping major plot points or even minor plot points just to get to your next action scene or your wow moment. You've lost me. You've completely lost me. And the ending sets up something completely ridiculous. It's very Iron Man-esque. I mean, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. And it's just, I don't want to get off on a Fox rant here. But, you know, they have such great franchises. Alien, you know, Ridley Scott, whether you liked Prometheus or Alien Covenant, at least those were within the ballpark of that tone of movie from the first. You know, you have your aliens and stuff. But imagine if Ridley Scott did Alien, but instead of the alien, you're kind of like putting a hat on him and sending him out to do special ops or something. That's kind of like where they went with the Predator. Not exactly like that, but that's just an analogy. You know, even Prometheus, for as flawed as it was, I felt Prometheus was a good movie set in that universe. It didn't need to connect necessarily to Alien in a huge way. A lot of fans, I think, took that as like kind of like, oh, what are you doing? You're destroying Alien. I think you know, there can be connective tissue in movies, but, you know, anyway. But yeah, the Predator was a joke. I don't think I've rolled my eyes this much in a movie in like a year. It's that bad. It really isn't a good film. Nothing in the trailers gave anything away yeah, it gave everything away, but it didn't I feel like there weren't any huge surprises. There wasn't anything that felt needed to be included, or I don't know. It's just, I was upset with this one. Like when I saw The Nun last week, I was upset that for the wasted potential. This one I'm upset for wasted potential, kind of just, you know, unnecessarily taking weird changes to a franchise. And at this point in the game, they shouldn't have to do that. You know, I was one of the few people that enjoyed Predators. yeah, I'm not an Adrian Brody fan. In fact, I think he was horribly miscast in that. But I still enjoyed the story of Predators. I thought it was unique. I thought it took the franchise into a new direction. This one, it's almost like they're setting up they're setting up something they can't possibly deliver on. And then this is a spoiler, so I'll just tell you. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. They're insinuating there's going to be a Predator invasion. Really? Like, that's where you're going with this? No, like, once again, that goes back to the alien wearing a hat. You don't need to do that. Stick to your basics, but you can change enough to make it fresh and different. I feel Predators did that. The Predator, I think, was trying to do that, but I don't know. Like, from what I heard, there was definitely problems on the third act. That looked like it was reshot yesterday, honestly. And the ending, you know, kind of makes, oh, now we have like children that are working full time for the government, well, whatever. Anyway, so the Predator, massive disappointment. Really didn't like it at all. Even when I saw it on Saturday and I sat all weekend thinking about it, it's terrible. There's nothing redeeming to it. There's mindless action, and then there's dumb, mindless action. So yeah, that's gonna be about it. Disappointed. I feel like the back half of the summer has been pretty terrible as far as movies. First half has been epic, and then since the last movie I loved, which was Mission Impossible Fallout, since then it's been very dry. It's been very just not good. Not good. Anyway, so that's it. So this is Adam with MovieGuy365. Please hit that like, subscribe, bell notification. We put out videos every single day. And until next time, I will see you at the movies.